The League of the Friends of the Blind is an organization dedicated to helping visually impaired and blind people in achieving their dreams. One of these people is Mrs. Daniels, who's a visually impaired woman and was able to get her matric through LOFOB. Our city visited the organization.
I found out about the League of Friends of the Blind in 1996 when I was boarded from work. And I was introduced to LOFOB, and they helped me through this journey with transitioning between a sighted person and a visually impaired person. And they helped me to cope with my day-to-day routines, and they helped me distinguish money, be able to cook, clean, and the daily things that a person needs at home. Visually impairedness means somebody is not totally blind. They can see, they still have a little sight. Some people's sight are worse than the others, but a visually impaired person is someone that cannot read print, and they cannot see someone's faces sometimes. I mean, all the time. I think that's the difference between visually impaired and blind. Blind people can't see, and we have a little sight. I've got 10% vision in each eye. When I started losing, initially when my eyes started bothering me at school, it's like something was interrupted in my life. And when my daughter finished matric last year, and that inspired me. So I thought, this is now about me, and I can do my matric, and that's my inspiration. I did not want to, because I was always this person that wanted to do more. And because of my sight and the time I got this problem, it was in a very bad time in the 1980s. So, we have more opportunities now, and I thought this is my time. Okay, this is called the Merlin. I use this all the time for my studies. What happens? You put the document on this. I don't even know what you call this, but you put it on the slide thing, and you put your document, and you can read your document. You can change the background. You can change the font, the size, to your sight. Like for people who sight, obviously nobody here will do that, will use that, but like we will all go bigger than that, like that. So then you can see like that. Like adult education needs to react to social, political, economic, and cultural development. That's the stuff that's how we read with this. This thing is a very brilliant equipment, and LOFOB only is one of these things. This is what helped me through my studies here for this 4 months. It helped me. This was my guidance. My advice to anybody would be, do not let any disability or any financial anything hold you back for being or wanting anything you want, because any goal can be achieved. The thing of that is your mindset needs to be right. You need to believe in yourself. And the first thing I can say to people, believe in yourself. Because if you believe in yourself, then everybody else is going to have to believe in you.
The League of Friends of the Blind is an organization that has been catering for the needs of blind and visually impaired persons for the past 84 years. Initially, the organization started with offering hostel accommodation, and over the years, we've shifted our focus from offering social welfare and social comforts to offering independence development services to people who are blind and visually impaired. So the core services is to ensure that people become independent in their tasks of daily living and ultimately become integrated within society. There are many challenges that people are presented with when they become blind or visually impaired, and maybe just important to say that the onset of blindness or visual impairment can occur at any age or stage of an individual's life. And we work with people who become blind in their teens, in their adult life, and so forth. So yes, the initial adjustment to being blind or visually impaired it's a huge one. And then also the main thing is then, of course, at that stage, to help the person become, emotionally and psychologically adjusted to their blindness, and then to ensure that they have the skills to cope in everyday life with basic tasks that, sighted people tend to take for granted. Something like being able to pick up a book and read, something like making a cup of coffee or tea, or even being able to walk independently. So yes, there are many challenges that one is initially confronted with, but I am pleased to say that through the efforts and services of LOFOB, irrespective of what age you become blind or visually impaired, you can regain your independence and then become integrated within society. So having said that, yes, it is quite possible for blind people to be mainstreamed, especially in terms of education, because there are a number of measures that can be put in place to ensure that a blind person can cope optimally.
This is a coin selector, whereby there's some where you can fit the coins, but you can also fill the coins, because we have 9 coins, and the silver one on the side, they got the sign which is rough and smooth, and then you can fill that sign with a finger, or you can fit in the coin selector. The coin selector will fit where that money belongs. So that is a 5 rand, this one. So the gold one, which is 50 cents and 20 cents and 1 rand, they are rough right around. So you can feel with your finger simply because they are rough. And then the big one, you'll know, is 50 cents, and the medium one's 20 cents, and the small one is 10 cents. And then you've got the bronze one, which is all right around it. They are smooth. So that's how they identify the money, using their fingers. We call it finger method. There is a money sticker where they fit the notes. So the money sticker has got, the difference in the money is on the left side. So the money sticker got some steps on it. So in that first short one, when it fits there, that means it's a 10 rand. When it goes to the second step, that's 20, and the third step, that's 50, and the fourth one, that is 100 rand, and the last one, that is 200 rand. Because we have 5 notes. So the note you insert inside that film, there's a small line that you insert, and then you go and fill on which step is. And then that one will on the second one, which means that is 20 rand. I will know that is 20 rand. So that's how they check the money. Go step by step, the notes and the coins. And this is a signature guide. It's whereby we show them how to sign. So you have to put some on the paper where the person needs to sign on, and then he will sign just inside that square so that he can sign on a straight line, not on skew. So that's how we identify the money.
I started at LOFOB in 2013. I started with my independence training, and at the end of the year, I made a decision to go back to mainstream school. LOFOB supported me in very different ways with my schooling at the mainstream school. LOFOB had a program put together for me. After school, I come out of school, and then my volunteers will wait for me and help me with my homework, my assignments, and support me into, like, if I had to write exams. So LOFOB supported me a lot. I will say that the organization, that they inspired me in different ways, because I was thinking that I couldn't make it, but still I had the power in myself to push through and to complete my schooling at the mainstream school. So, yeah.
We have 6 dots, which is a braille cell. So they must know left and right. We have 6 dots here, as you can see, dot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then all the letters are coming from this braille cell. So all the letters are different patterns, as you can see. A is dot 1, B is dot 1 and 2, C is dot 1 and 4. So they must first know the letters from the braille board. So when the person knows the letters, all the letters, 26 letters, the person will move to write. This is a braille. So they will write. Here we have keyboard. We have dot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's the same. We have that braille cell. So you will press here, A is dot 1, you press only 1. When you write B, you will press dot 1 and 2. When you write C is dot 1 and 4, you will press dot 1 and 4. So, yeah.